Hello everyone, and welcome to my home. This is the time of year that I think I know that we serve more appetizers and hors d'oeuvres holiday season than any other time of the year, unless you are going to a tailgating or a football watching party. Hors d'oeuvres and appetizers to me break down in two categories. One, the heavy appetizer, which could include meat dishes and things like that, say from 8 o'clock until 11 or however your party lasts. And then lighter appetizers would be something you would serve prior to having dinner in your home with your family and friends. So those two we're going to break down today. I'm going to show you 6 different kinds of my favorite appetizers and hors d'oeuvres. Don't try to spell either one of them. And ho 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 is here because of the season. My other great thing that I do this time of year, and have for probably the last 30 years, New Year's Day, I have a 4 soup, 4 salad, 4 dessert gathering. It's always well received. I wait till way in the afternoon so people have recouped, but they all seem to like to come and wish in the Happy New Year. So now we're going to get started with our appetizers. Our first one is going to be what I call a heavy appetizer. I call it Rotisserie Chicken because I have baked chickens and try to bone it and take all the meat off of it. But I seem to like the rotisserie, which already has a flavor in it, like the lemon or the barbecue or one that's all seasoned. So this is a lemon rotisserie chicken that I've already taken off the bone and the carcass, however you want to call it. You start there, and with that, you add 1 small box of spinach that you totally squeeze dry. You don't want the moisture in there, so I've already squeezed it, and we just add that to the chicken. So not only is this hearty, but it's very healthy, and people seem to always enjoy it. I've been doing this one for many, many years, and it seems like it's the first one to go when I have a party. We'll add to that 1 cup of cottage cheese, again, healthy. And to that, we'll add 1 small can of the diced tomato and green chilies. And to that, a very small can of diced green chilies. And the complete package of the Mexican 4-blend different cheeses that gives you a complete flavor that you're trying to achieve, and also ties everything together. I was more generous with my ingredients than the size of the bowl, but we'll get it all done here. So you just stir all this together, take your time and get it pulled in, and you'll see that everything kind of melds together. And then you want to bake it about 350 degrees for about 45 minutes until your cheese totally is melted. That's a good way to barometer exactly if your dish is ready to serve or not. Can't do it today, but when I do this for my own parties, I try to do it the day before so that everything is mixed really good together and the flavors are gelling as it's in the refrigerator before you get ready to serve it. So my bad here that I didn't get a bigger bowl for us, but I think we're going to be okay. And you serve this with crackers. Some people like it so much they just want to take a big plate of this and enjoy it. But it's a little bit colorful too, because you've got your greens and your reds and everything, and it makes it kind of nice for the holiday because you are adding those different things. You want to put it in a 9 by 13 baking dish, and be sure that it's totally spread out here. And we're almost to the bottom of it. Now, in essence, I would have stirred this a little longer, and of course again in a bigger bowl, but you get the idea of what we're trying to achieve, and you can do better on your own, as I know you will. But do refrigerate it, overnight, covered with wax paper or your foil. And again, bake it 45 minutes till the cheese is all melted at an oven of 350, and your finished dish is ready for that party. And here we are, out of the oven, ready to serve, and do serve this warm. I don't like it cold, but it is delicious. A heavy appetizer, great for the holiday parties, entertaining, and even for home, just to have. You can serve it, heat it in the microwave the next day, just enjoy. This is what I call an in-between appetizer. It has salmon in it, which could be your heavy, but I've also served it so many times as a side or with a lighter array of dishes that I'm serving. You start by using a baking dish and your preference, and I did this one because it sort of has that salmon color on the outside. Be sure you spray it with your cooking spray so it doesn't stick. So we got that covered. And then you'll add 1 can of drained, be sure that it's drained, salmon. And just fork it into your bowl so that you got it not in big hunks, but nicely grated. And it takes a minute, but you want it to be done right. So we're going to get it all out here. And I've tried to use fresh salmon that I've cooked myself. It doesn't come out as good as a can for some reason, so I stick to this and take it from there. So we got all that out of there and all the goodies to go with it. To that, we're going to add 2 beaten eggs that I already beat, and add that to your mix. We use 2 cups of milk. There's one of them, and we'll add the other one. Salt and pepper to taste. And I never give measurements on this because everybody has a different idea how they want it. One thing I try to do is make everything very flavorful, and the worst thing you can do for health is to try to add salt to your food when it's on the table. So we got that going, and then we're going to take 1 1/2 or 1 1/3, 1 1/4 crackers, which we're going to crumble. And it doesn't have to be fine. You just want to get them so that they will take up the moisture. This is an easy one to do. You take out your animosities, whatever, and just keep adding those. And we're almost through 1 package here. It takes just a second, sorry for the delay, but we're going to get it together, and if you try to do this in your own home for a party or whatever, your family and friends will definitely enjoy it. I add just a couple drops of lemon juice. And then we're going to totally stir it together. It comes out not like a souffle exactly, but with the eggs in there, it does swell up and then come back down. It's a great one again to eat with crackers or just to enjoy. A lot of times I'll serve a side of horseradish with it. Some people like that taste as I do. And it just depends on, you know, as the movie was, Who's Coming to Dinner? So you know what to have for your family and your guests. So that's all mixed thorough. And we'll put it in our baking dish. And even it out. And again, this is about 350, 30 to 45 minutes. The top brown's beautiful because of the eggs in there, and I know you'll enjoy it, so try it when you can. To show you how wonderful and how easy this is, this fluffs up again like a souffle with your eggs, and it browns on top because of the crackers and the milk. It's so good. I love to serve it warm or even cold. I just love the flavor of salmon. Okay, appetizer number 3. And this is what I would say on the light side. It's delicious, it's a little different. And you can use this as an appetizer and serve with crackers if you'd like. I also use it to stuff celery. Sometimes it's a little different and people are kind of, oh, I've never done that. So give you a couple ideas. We're going to start with softened 8 ounces of cream cheese. Be sure you soften it ahead of time because you want to be able to get all your ingredients to mix in. And we've got that going. And it just takes a few minutes to get it in the consistency that you want it so that your other ingredients fold in well with it. With that, we'll add 1 can of drained black olives that you cut in the little circles. And we'll get all that folded in a little bit here. And we're getting it the way we want it. And to that, we'll add either 1 cup of Parmesan, or I prefer to use the Italian blend, which gives you 4 cheeses. You get the great flavor from your cheese, and I like to mix personally, but you can use just Parmesan if that's what your family prefers, or you prefer, because you're in charge if you're doing the cooking. So the shredded, we're almost got here 1 cup of this cheese. I try to keep shredded cheeses in the refrigerator at all times. I'm one of those people that when they got 2 for 1, I buy my cheese. So again, we'll get all this mixed together. And to that, you can add, for your flavor, 2 teaspoons of bacon that you've done already on the stove and crumble it. A teaspoon of Mrs. Dash or salad. So if you got people that don't or won't eat meat, you can do this. I usually use about 2 teaspoons of the bacon bits. And you can use the ones that are in the jar. I prefer not to because I don't think they have the great flavor. So we'll use my exaggerated amount of bacon just for flavor. And almost. That's when you have to be sure that your cream cheese is soft. Because even this is a challenge, but we're making it. And this is especially good if you're having a cocktail party or an appetizer just before you serve the main course. Remember, as I mentioned, this is also great to stuff celery with. So you want to maybe use it the next day for your family and stuffed celery. You're going to take it out of your bowl and we'll put it in some type of serving dish where you have the cavity for your dip and then your array of crackers, depending on what you like. It could be saltines, Ritz, the butter crackers, etc. So we'll take this and put it in the cavity here. So you're ready for your party guest and for your party in general. And we have now finished appetizer number 3. Enjoy, my friends. Party time or appetizer number 4. This is smoked oysters. It's a flavor that you either love it or hate it, but people enjoy it, and that's why I try to do it when I have my different gatherings of my family and friends. You start with 1 can of smoked oysters, which is very easy to get where the tuna and all the different things are. Leave the oil in the can this time, like we drained the other thing, leave the oil there, but you want to chop it so that it's very fine. So I've already done that for us. So you add that first, and add 3 ounces of softened cream cheese. This is really soft. Okay, and 3 ounces of cottage cheese. It's about 3 good tablespoons full to get to 3 ounces. There's that. 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, or of course 1 tablespoon. So we'll go ahead and use that that's already here. Well, that's a little ample. And 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire. Excuse me while I get my measuring, I apologize. We got it here. That you don't want to have too much of. Now it's being stingy. There we go. We got that all taken care of. You want to mix this all together thoroughly. And be sure that the cream cheese is, as I mentioned, softened, and the oil from the olives are putting this together really good. And you can see that the consistency is getting the way we want it. And what we're going to do then is roll this in either potato chips, if that's your favorite, or tortilla chips, which I've already done. And when I do this, I take the bag and put a little air hole in it and use a rolling pin. I do it right inside of its own bag so that you don't make a big mess in the house. So this is that. And we're going to take a plate, some wax paper, and we'll cover the plate with the chips to start with. And we'll add this to the chips. And we'll add more chips. And you want to get it so that you can make a ball out of it and serve it either in your hors d'oeuvre chip bowl with more chips. I usually don't add more chips to it because there's ample that I've already got here put together. You want to totally cover it You want to refrigerate it for at least 2 hours before you serve it, and even the day before, if you're on a time frame or schedule that you're going to be pushed for time, it will be good even overnight. So it's all ready. You can make it into a bigger ball or smaller, or shape it with the wax paper. That's why I started that. And usually I do it after it's been in the refrigerator because it's a little bit harder. It's easier to form into that ball. But anyway, it's a great hors d'oeuvre, easy to do, and economical. All right, number 5 today. This is going to be something that I serve year-round because people love fresh fruit, and so we are blessed with getting anything you want. So with kiwi or strawberries, pears, or apples, I use this dip with that. So we're going to start with a half a cup of sour cream, good to the last drop here, and we'll add to that, softened again, about a 1/3 cup of cream cheese. To that we'll use the zest from the lemon, and with that we'll use the juice of the lemon, or 2 teaspoons full. Try not to get the seeds here for us. So we get that going, and then you'll add approximately 4 ounces of strawberry preserves, not jelly or jam, but preserves. And another spoon would work better. That'll go in there. So we'll add that. I gave you the correct amount to use. And then what you do with this is you beat it and beat it and beat it and beat it until it's really fluffy. And again, you want to refrigerate this overnight or for about 2 hours so that you can use it and it won't be soupy or saucy like it is right now. So the main thing is just to really, I would even use my whisk with it, which I'm going to get, so we can do that. So all the flavors have gelled, and put it in a container. Cover it, be sure it's covered so you don't get the flavors and different things out of the refrigerator. And serve it next day or 2 days later. And I'll tell you, the kids love this with their favorite fruit, and we always want them to eat as much fruit as we can. So this is a good way to combine both. And it's also great to have as a side when you're serving food, or again, a light appetizer. This is number 6, and this will be our last one for today. I hope that you enjoyed these recipes. They've been very good for my family and friends, and I hope during the holidays that you'll be able to use some or all of them so that you can have a great time with your family and friends. Because of what we're going through and experiencing in our lives right now, appetizing hors d'oeuvres and small gatherings can be very beneficial for all of us. This is the last one, as I mentioned. This is a cheese crab meat dip. Now, I use the can of crab meat, which you can buy again where the tuna and all those things are, or you can get fresh lump crab meat and use it in the recipe if you want to. Your choice, but it is very good. Again, you want to chill this for 2 days prior to serving. It's another recipe you can do ahead of time so that you can enjoy your guests when they come to visit you. We'll start with softened again, and I know I've used that word many times, but it does amount about either a 1/3 of a cup, a 1/3 of a bar, or a 1/2 of a bar of softened cream cheese. And we'll use the spoon to get it softened here a little bit. And to that we're going to add a half of a jar of either ranch or Thousand Island dressing. And same thing with blue cheese, about a half, thereabouts, of your salad dressing. 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Generous, of course, as I always am. A 1/4 teaspoon of minced garlic. And we'll add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. And either the lump fresh or the can of crab. We're going to stir all this together, and again, as I mentioned, refrigerate it at least 2 days ahead of time, and serve with crackers. And I have even put this in the oven before and just get it really warm, and it makes a great appetizer if you want something warm, or like in a fondue dish or something like that. Be sure we get it all beaten all the way through, and again, depending on your family and their taste, you could add a little bit more garlic if that's something your family really enjoys. I've done that many times. And another one is horseradish. So there are lovers of horseradish as well. But this is almost done. Again, it's a little, I don't want to say it's soupy, a little loose. But when you get it refrigerated, it comes out really great. And great with crackers, great with the holiday, and great for you and your family. Enjoy.